Welcome to this TOEFL iBT listening practice video. In this session, we'll simulate a real test experience to help you build your skills. You'll hear a lecture excerpt once, just like in the actual exam. Take notes if you can, as you won't get a replay of the full audio. After the lecture, questions will appear one by one on screen, with pauses for you to think and answer mentally or on paper. If a question includes a short replay of a specific part, listen closely. Ready? Let's begin.
Listen to part of a lecture in an art history class.
All right, everyone, settle in. We're talking about Impressionism today, a revolutionary art movement in the late 19th century that shook up the European art world. Emerging in France around the 1870s, Impressionism was led by artists like Claude Monet, Pierre-Auguste Renoir, and Edgar Degas. These painters rejected the rigid rules of academic art, which emphasized historical or mythological subjects, precise lines, and studio-finished works. Instead, Impressionists focused on capturing fleeting moments of everyday life, especially the effects of light and color. They painted en plein air, outdoors, to observe natural light changes directly. Monet's series on haystacks or the Rouen Cathedral shows how the same subject looks different at various times of day. This was radical because traditional art was about idealization, not reality's impermanence. Technically, they used loose brushstrokes, vibrant colors, and avoided black for shadows, opting for complementary colors like blue or purple. This gave their works a sense of movement and spontaneity. Renoir's Luncheon of the Boating Party exemplifies this. It's a lively scene of friends dining, with dappled sunlight filtering through. Impressionism wasn't just about technique, it reflected social changes. The Industrial Revolution brought urbanization, leisure activities, and new technologies like photography, which influenced how artists saw the world. But the establishment hated it. The Paris Salon, the official art exhibition, rejected Impressionist works for being unfinished. So, in 1874, they held their own exhibition, where a critic mockingly called Monet's Impression Sunrise mere impressions, and the name stuck. Women played key roles too. Mary Cassatt and Berthe Morisot brought domestic scenes and female perspectives, challenging gender norms in art. The movement influenced later styles like post-impressionism, with Van Gogh and Gauguin building on color and emotion. Today, Impressionism is beloved, but back then, it was controversial. It teaches us that innovation often faces resistance. For discussion, how does Impressionism compare to modern digital art? Think about it.
Now answer the questions about the lecture. You will see each question on the screen. Question 1 of 6. What is the professor's main purpose in the lecture? Question 2 of 6. What does the professor say about Monet's painting series? Question 3 of 6. Why does the professor mention the Paris Salon? Now get ready to answer the question. Listen again to part of the lecture.
But the establishment hated it. The Paris Salon, the official art exhibition, rejected Impressionist works for being unfinished. So, in 1874, they held their own exhibition, where a critic mockingly called Monet's Impression Sunrise mere impressions, and the name stuck.
Question 3 of 6. Why does the professor mention the Paris Salon?
What is the professor's attitude toward the initial reception of Impressionism? Now get ready to answer the question. Listen again to part of the lecture.
So, in 1874, they held their own exhibition, where a critic mockingly called Monet's Impression Sunrise mere impressions, and the name stuck.
What is the professor's attitude toward the initial reception of Impressionism? Question 5 of 6. According to the professor, how did the Industrial Revolution relate to Impressionism? Question 6 of 6. What can be inferred about women in Impressionism from the lecture? That completes the questions for this lecture.